Get money. What you say, huh? Get money. What you say? What's up, money getters? Guys, Monday has been a Monday. It was Monday in. For real, for real. What are you guys up to? Let your girl know what's going on. It's a lot going on in the world today. So much going on. It's like, ugh, where do I begin? But thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. I am Charity and I am the mommy money getter. I get to the content back. Raise them kids. I get to the content back and I raise them girls, my five daughters, aka the Barbs. If you didn't know, now you know. I'm a girl mom with five girls. Um, I'm a content creator, a social media marketer. I am a Jill of all trades. I'm an author as well. And I like to live life, have fun, enjoy myself, and do all of the things, guys. There's so many things that we could complain about, but so much is going on in the world. It's like we have to be grateful and we have to take every opportunity to just live, laugh, and enjoy life. So many people are going through so many things, and I don't know. I felt like I was getting going numb to it all. Hey, baby, what's good? Focal point. I'm just getting on. I'm getting prepared for your niece's Sweet 16 tomorrow, so I didn't go live yet today. So I said, let me get on here and go live real fast while I take these braids out because my hair is super dry and these braids are super crunchy. So I said, let me go ahead and take the braids out and have a chit chat with the live tonight. Did you guys see that? Um, we may or may not be going to war because Wig, he's going to do everything possible, it seems like, to keep us in some BS. That's right, I'm calling him Wig. I don't know what his problem is. Like, he goes from one thing to the next. I won cancer. You beat cancer? Only Tom Official. Hey, Ernestine Farmer. Thanks for joining the live, guys. If you just came in, please go ahead and hit that thumbs up for me. It helps your girl out in the algorithm, and that's what we try to do. We try to stay on the algorithm's head, right? And that lets everybody else know that we're on the live. Get this conversation going. But yeah, Wig is on. Wig is wigging. Focal point. What did you have going on today? You been styling and profiling? What's going on with you today? Are you gonna come here tomorrow? I heard something about you were coming tomorrow. I know your niece is looking forward to seeing you, so I hope so. Yeah. I don't know what his problem is. I mean, he has ice running amok. I mean, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. He hasn't been in office what, but 6 months, and already he has he has been on one. He's doing the tariffs, got the prices sky high, messing with. I mean, just it's just too much. That's what the people wanted. They actually begged for him to be doing all. Yes, that's what a lot of people are saying. Focal point that this is what people asked for, and you know what? Um, I'm not gonna lie and say I didn't vote this year because I just couldn't see myself voting for either party. I definitely was not going to vote for Kamala. I think that they didn't do a good job at all, her and Biden. I just didn't. Trump, when he was in office last time, it was a lot of, it seemed like the country was really divided. So that's why anything but to have a black woman in, excuse my French. Hey, Richie, what's goody? Thanks for tuning in. Now it's time for me to ask you, Richie, what did you do today? What you have going on? Um, I just feel like the country was really divided when Wig was in office the first time, and it seemed like it was always a lot of chaos, and that seems like what he brought back this time. I did vote Biden in because um, a lot of people said Biden was really smart, and I think that if Biden had came the first time, he would have won against Wig the first time, but he didn't want to do it for whatever reason. He had just lost his son, I guess. But he definitely would have been won, and he was younger and probably more fit to be in office back then. You know it. You know it. Throw some money bags in the chat. You already know, Richie. You already know what time it is. We're gonna get to it. Yes. Wig just had it. He had it so chaotic, and then he gonna go down there in L.A. He thought those Latinos was gonna just let him come up in L.A. and just do their thing, do his thing. Oh, they said, oh no, they gave it to them. They had to call the National Guard. That was crazy. For sure, you know I had to come through, sis. I linked to new clients for work. I started my final project for my social science class. Woo woo. I made my final season episode for my show on my channel. That's what's up. And I completed a 2 hour stream. Let's get it. You already know we're going to stream. We're going to do that. Because you know what? It's money in these YouTube streets. I try to tell everybody that it's money on social media. That's one thing that people do not know. The election was won on social media, um, whether people know that or not. Everything that's being done, if you're selling anything, and that's what the United States is all about, is commerce, right? You gotta have you gotta have a platform. You gotta have a platform because we're not marketing the way we used to with television ads and commercials and putting in ads in the newspapers. We're online and we're using content to build our brands and to gain an audience. So you got to do the streams, you got to do all of the content things, and you could become very rich on here. This is, I think, I feel like with content, like them D boys in the 80s, I'm slanging content every day. I feel just like them because why not? It's fun, it's chill. You meet lots of cool people like Richie, right? And you can make a cool little bag. When I do well, I make like 5 figures a month. My next big bag, I want it to be at least 6 figures. That's my goal right now. And I don't even have a lot of followers. It don't take all that. It really don't. Sometimes you might think, oh, they have a large following. They're making a lot of money, and they don't. Because I can tell you right now, I see a lot of content creators. They're on YouTube, and they get follows and they get people watching them, but I don't know if they're getting people to go buy what they're selling. That's something way different. You got to know what people want, right? And that's how that goes. So, yeah. But yeah, so me today, ugh, I haven't been to sleep a lot, guys. I haven't. I've been up really since 2. And every time I try to go back to sleep, I kept waking up. And I had my handyman coming by to help me declutter my garage. It was a hot ghetto mess out there. Just a bunch of stuff. Mind you, I just cleaned out my garage in October. Oh yeah, for sure, sis. Make sure we tell them that there is money to be made out here. Tell them scare money don't make no money, Richie. You got that right. Scare money does not make money. I know that's right. So I I wanted to go back to sleep. I tried many times. It wasn't happening. Then next thing I know, my handyman was at the door, so I had to get up and go outside. And it was so hot. It's like 106 where I live in California. It was terrible, terrible. But I got out there and we got it done. So, and I knew I'm like actually a month or two overdue with that. I was trying to get it done before summer. Actually, while we were still in spring, I was trying to get it done, but I had so many other things going on. So today I said no more, no más. Yeah. So, but we got to it and we got it done. I got my kids' old trampoline out the backyard. I got rid of some paperwork and files that have been just staring at me in my room. I got rid of that. So my room is decluttered, the garage is decluttered, my yard is decluttered. So now I feel like I can just breathe. Have you ever felt like that, guys? Have you ever felt like you just got so much clutter around you? You can't really think. And they say the way your house look is how your mind is. So all that clutter that was in my house, that's just the way my mind was, right? So yeah. But back to Wig and what he's been on. He's trying to threaten Iran, and Iran, my friend, my Armenian friend says, Jasmine, it's called Iran. She said that well, Wig said that if they didn't sign the peace treaty and forego having nukes, then it was on. And Iran said if y'all get in our business with Israel, hey, you about to see something. And so then Trump, Donald Trump, I listen to Shamar so much, too much. He said he warned he warned everybody over there that they need to evacuate Iran. So guys, and then if Trump attacks Iran, then Russia coming and South Korea is coming. And Kim Jong Un, or what's his name? He don't play that. That was me when we first moved here and had brought everything from the old house, and we had to go through a lot of stuff to sort and get rid of. Yeah, I've been in the same house, Richie, for like 15 years, and it's long overdue that I moved from here. Too many memories, too many everything, bad and good. And I have got to the point where I notice that I buy too much stuff. For one, then I have girls and they buy too much stuff. So, and if they don't want it, they just start bagging up stuff and throwing it in the garage. And I'm like, look, but like today we found so much brand new stuff, things with tags on it. He was like, look, I'm going to donate this. I'm not going to just take it to the dump. So I guess he don't donated. I'm not sure. Shit. It got late. Who knows what he did with that stuff? But yeah. So we elected to go ahead and donate some of it. So hopefully he made it to the donation spot and got that taken care of. Let me see. Because that definitely needed to get done. So yeah. Let me turn on. Yeah, but other than that, like I said, I was supposed to go visit my father for Father's Day, but it was so much civil unrest going on around where he lived that they had the big no kings or something like that. protests. And guys, somebody actually um, got unalived at one of those protests. It was like they said he was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Somebody came out and was trying to watch the protests and make sure they kept it peaceful. I think it happened in Utah. So somebody came out to the protest like, oh, we were just observing the protests and making sure everybody remained peaceful, and he accidentally murked dude, and so he was just out there protesting, and now he's no longer here. So I was just telling my dad, like, look, they're, throwing rocks at people's cars and all of that. So I definitely wanted to see you for Father's Day. So I just went on Amazon and sent him a gift, you know, because I wasn't about to be caught up in all that mess. But I understand. They want to be able to stay here, and hopefully there's some type of resolution that they could come to where they could stay here and not be here illegally. Hopefully Trump can, because the gag is, okay, Obama, they say, he deported way more people than Trump has. But I guess he was doing it with some class and professionalism, something Wig doesn't have. So people are protesting against him. So if he wanted a little bit more cooperation, then he should come correct. Because as it is now, people are not caring about a National Guard. It's way more of them. It's way more of them in cities like LA. I mean, you really have to get brolic if you really want to come like that. So yeah, I don't know, but they don't seem like they're gonna go quietly. Whatever, they are not going away quietly. hmm So that occurred. There's a lot of other things that I've seen occurring this weekend, and it just got to me a little bit because I had kept scrolling past the news and past all of the different current events, because after a while you just want to turn a blind eye to it. But at the same time, you don't want to be ignorant to what's going on, like the cause for the war. Let me go to CNN real quick, guys, and see what's going on, because that's something that we need to know and be prepared for, not be scared about. Missiles rain down as Israel Iran conflict enters fifth day. 5 days. Trump is set to leave G7 early and directs his national security staff to convene. So we don't know what might take place. But Trump is trying to make an offer for a ceasefire. So let's all pray for that, because, we don't need World War III, even though it seems like that's what is being constantly, right? We do not need that. And also, we got civil unrest here. We need to take care of what's going on over here. I know that we have allies, and Israel is one of them, and we have to be a part of that. Plus, I don't know if you're a Christian or a believer, but Israel is God's chosen people, and I don't know why everybody keep wanting to mess with them. Everybody's like, "Oh, Israel's a bully." I don't know. I don't get in everybody's business like that. I'm an American. I stand in America has enough stuff for us to deal with. So I'm not trying to be in everybody's business, but when we get involved, then I try to read up on it and stay abreast of what's going on, because you just don't know. It's a lot of different stuff that takes place. Like, where was it at? In Minnesota, some goofy went and he murked a lawmaker. I think she was a senator or something like that. Her and her husband. And y'all, how did he get away? I mean, they eventually caught him, but like a day or two later, how did you catch him in the midst of the act? And this guy didn't look like he was too physically fit. He didn't really look like he was fit at all. So I don't understand how he was able to run away for a day at all, let alone a few minutes, you know? But he got away, probably so he can go do something to somebody else. But he actually was successful in doing away with a couple, and he also assaulted a couple of other ones. They were in critical condition, but I think they're going to be okay.
I'll be back in the morning to assemble everything.
Okay. So yeah. Thanks, Kiara. Appreciate you. So yeah, it's crazy. Ooh, my hair look like it's trying to come out a little bit. Mm, it better not be. I got like I got like 3, 4 braids out so far. I'm doing this real slow, but they're big braids. So hey, good evening, real life simulations. I gotta start calling you gamer, because that's what I want to say. Gamer is in the building. What's going on with you, girl? What have you been getting into today? You know what? I got so super busy and I did not order my stuff from your page. And I didn't exactly know what all I wanted to order, but I know I wanted a mouse pad. And I actually like some of those. You like real life or RLS? Okay, real life. Okay, cool. I like real life too. I like real life too, but I know that gamer baby was your ad, so I don't know if you wanted to be known as your ad or if you wanted to be known as real life. But okay. But yeah, like I was saying, I like the stickers. I like the bucket hat. Hey butterfly, what's up with you? How are you doing tonight? Are you working or are you at home? That spaghetti look good, girl. And then garlic bread, you had me want to make spaghetti, but if I make a pot of spaghetti, I'll end up eating a whole pot because my kids don't really eat spaghetti like that. So I appreciate you for checking out. I like it. Um, like I said, I wanted to get the bucket hat, but your girl has a big head. I don't know if you could tell or not. But my head is huge and then my hair is thick. So unless I have it braided real flat, I'm scared if I buy it because I can actually feel like a size 8 men's hat, probably 8 3/4 with no problem. I used to put my ex-husband's hats on. Shout out to my ex. It's your birthday tomorrow. You and your daughter's birthday tomorrow. I found one of his old CDs when I was clearing out the garage. I thought I got rid of all that man stuff before he passed, but I found that. I found his dartboard that he asked me, "Where's my dartboard?" I know I left it there, and I was like, "No, you didn't." And then later on, I found it. I didn't tell his butt about it, but I thought I got rid of all his stuff. But while I was outside today in the garage decluttering, that's why I told you guys it's time for me to move from this house that I'm in for a number of reasons. One, it's older. Two, I need more space. I definitely need more space. I have been outgrew this place a long time ago. And three, I'm just ready to go. You know, I was married in this house. I brought children in this house, into the world in this house. And now I gotta go, but I digress. Yeah, I loved it. I loved it him. Your breakfast blog you did recently was nice. Thank you. Thank you. I just be throwing stuff on here. Uh, Sometimes I be like, just keep the content going. I try to get more professional with my content and these days, and I'm trying to find a way to see what's working for me. And I know what I can do and what I to get an attention and really get people on here. I know what I could do, but I'm trying to stay away from that and just really remain true to what the intention of this page is and was. So, but I can get brolic on here, but it looked good. You know what I did? Uh, I did my Walmart order, and like a ding dong, I didn't come into my refrigerator to see what all I had. And so I said, because I really had it in mind to make scrambled eggs. And how I make my scrambled eggs is I take the big white part, because my friend told me that a long time ago, she told me that was the jizz from the cock. Oh, I wasn't supposed to say that. Oh, I don't. Anyway, from the boy rooster. Somebody said that's not true, that the eggs we get aren't fertilized, but she said that it was that. And so ever since she told me that, I take a fork and I get it out, right? And then I pour. That's what one friend taught me, right? To take that big white spot out of the egg. So I do that. And another one of my friends, she's from Alabama, and her mom could cook. And years ago, years and years ago, I had never had my eggs like this because my mom liked to make her eggs runny. But um, they were from Alabama. They put a little milk in their eggs, and they whipped them up, and they put them on some real butter. Oh, those eggs were so good. And I don't have to put anything on my eggs. I know some people like to put pepper. I see somebody put Lorry's. Oof, all kinds of things, but to each their own. But that's how I normally make my eggs, ladies. And I like them nice and fluffy with cheddar cheese. And I make them real pretty. But I didn't have any 2% milk. And so I said, okay, I'm going to fry these eggs. And then I started frying them in the butter. I'm like, oh, this might work out scrambled. Again, I usually whip them. But for my fried eggs, I will put a little pepper. So I put some pepper on them. Then I got the bright idea that I was going to scramble them anyway in the pan, and I added some cheese. Those eggs look so ugly to me, but I thank you guys for being kind and saying that the breakfast looked good. But Kendall, the other day I seen she made, well, I watched one of her videos. I don't know when she posted it. I think it was new. She made those Pillsbury cinnamon rolls. So I woke up Saturday morning like, let me place a Walmart order so I could make breakfast for me and the girls. And as always, the girls didn't eat breakfast, but they did have a cinnamon roll. Yes, do you add milk to your eggs, Butterfly? One time I posted in my clean eating group my eggs, and somebody said, grow up. You don't need to put milk in eggs. Like, first of all, how can you tell me what I need to put in my eggs? Like, what? You thought, like, grow up. You don't need milk in your eggs. That's crazy. I add milk sometimes. You know what? I've been doing this so long since I was a teenager. Like, I can't eat scrambled eggs without a little milk and without whipping them up real good and make sure they're all the way yellow. Ladies, do you eat brown or white eggs? Put a one in the chat for white eggs and a two for brown eggs. I'm trying to be able to see my chat on my other phone, but it's not working. It is not working. You like both real life? Yes, milk does make them even fluffier. Brown eggs for you? Yeah, once upon a time, I didn't ever think that I would ever try brown eggs. I was just so scared. Don't ask me why. I'm scary. But I was so scared to try them. But remember a couple of years ago when we were running short on eggs, kind of like we are now? No, right now they're high, but back then we had no eggs, remember? Because we didn't have chicken wings, we didn't have eggs. It was a whole thing. And then, what was it? what are their names? Wingstop, they start selling thighs because they were running low on wings. And we didn't have any white eggs. All we had was, lately we've been eating fresh eggs, so sometimes they're brown, yellow, blue, greenish, real good. Ooh, I see Nara. You know who Nara is? I see, I think that's her name, Naira. Her and Lucky. She always has fresh eggs, and some of them will be blue or brown or speckled. I didn't know that those was regular eggs, but I think they're so cute. But yeah, so no, most of the stores only had brown eggs, so I had to get brown eggs at that time. And I noticed that the shell is harder on the brown egg, and the yolks are really yolky. They're like really golden, like a deep, deep orange. I don't know if I ever had fresh eggs. And so I started buying brown eggs, and then I never went back. I can't stand white eggs now. They look weird to me. So, and I always buy the Eggland's Best, or sometimes I might buy the Eggland's Best white. I don't if those are the only white ones I buy, but they're getting ridiculously high. So the brown eggs, if I buy a dozen of those are like $8. And your girl has a nerve to be wasting eggs all the time, like, because we don't cook nearly enough. But I've been cooking a lot more recently. So I cooked yesterday. I didn't post that. I made fried chicken, and then I made homemade macaroni and cheese. I made green beans. My green beans turned awful because the Walmart spark driver forgot. Well, the onion that he got me, it seemed like it was rotten on the inside. It was all wet, so I couldn't use it. So my green beans did not turn out the way I wanted them to. Did you cook tonight, guys? Hey, Bold One for Life. How are you doing? I'm just chit chatting while I take out these braids. I wish I can go get my hair done, guys, but the girls needed things. Can you believe one of my daughters is actually having a birthday party? Like, that messed my money up. No, just playing. I sure tried to talk her out of it, though. But she was like, no, I want a sweet 16. I'm like, okay. But, yeah, I already got my hair braided. I already paid a couple $100 for my hair already this month. So I'm like, you know what? Just wash your hair and blow dry it out, flat iron it yourself, and get your hair done next month. I'm trying to be good. And I think I'm going to do a no spin July. You made lima beans, cabbage, rice, and cornbread. Bomb. All three bomb. I like some lima beans, but I know you don't eat meat, butterfly. So how did that go? Break it down for me. How did you season those beans? Because I'm used to eating lima beans with a little ham hock. And cabbage. Cabbage, I can stir fry cabbage with just onion and bell peppers. I can do my cabbage like that. But I do like to fry a little bacon and get that bacon grease off of the bacon fat up. Let that come up a little bit, and then I will stir fry the cabbage and the bacon fat with onions and red and green bell pepper. But I can eat it without it, and of course cornbread, but got to have ham hocks and the lima beans. Yes, but Butterfly is vegetarian, so I'm interested to know, how did you season them beans, girl? Because you know what? I can do red beans. I haven't done lima beans like that, but I love red beans and rice. And I could take like an onion, I can take garlic and season it with like a little bit of herbs and a little bay leaves. I can eat red beans without meat. I've done it. I just haven't done that with lima beans yet. So I want to know how you seasoned your beans. And you had it with rice too. That sounds good though. I did meatless a couple of weeks. I used different seasons plus onions and garlic. One thing about onions and garlic, it's gonna set those beans on fire. You put that onion, that fresh onion and that fresh garlic in those beans, and baby, you're on a juice smoothie fast into the 21st. That's good. What kind of juices have you been drinking? Real life. I love watermelon and like lime. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll take a lime and a lemon and mint and put it in ice water, and it tastes like a Sprite, very reminiscent of a Sprite. Or I like to do watermelon and ginger together. Now I want a smoothie. Oh, y'all always making me want something, but I do like I do try to stay away from smoothies on account of I don't like to drink my calories. I like to eat them, but smoothies definitely when I do them a smoothie, they make you feel so good inside, right? It just feels like you're getting a little bit of extra help in the vitamins that you need. I'm proud of you too, real life. After my daughter's birthday, I was thinking too that I was gonna do this. Oh, before I go there, no, I'm gonna go back to that. I'm gonna go back to that. I was thinking that one of my lives this week should be about clean eating, and clean eating can be whatever you decide. It can be as long as you're just eating what you prepare at home and fruit, vegetables, meat in their most natural state or their most original state, right? And I was thinking about doing like a 21-day challenge. And if whoever wants to join my Facebook group, or I can have the Facebook group come over to here and I can, have a live every week. And we just do a 21-day challenge so we can just stick to water only, fruits and vegetables, home cooked meal. Some of you are already doing that, but when I do it, usually I lose like 15 pounds the first week. And, sometimes you just lose water weight, but I usually keep it off. I usually keep it off. So, and instantly, like after 3 or 4 days, you have a big burst of energy. It's like your face clears up everything. So, let me know if you guys want to be a part of that. Today, I did one watermelon and a pomegranate. Pomegranate is my fave. Juice and an apple, pineapple, celery, spinach smoothie. That sounds great. So did you just make it and then have that all day with water? Are you only going to have juice? And are you only going to drink juice for 21 days, real life? Smoothies are good. And yes, living foods make you feel even better. Absolutely, butterfly. Like you just definitely feel the difference. Even if I don't count calories, even if I'm just still eating a good amount, right? Just like the change to my body is very noticeable. Um, the swelling and inflammation leaves my body. Like my ankles are like small. I see my face clear up. My chin reduces. The bloat in my stomach goes away. Like I don't have any stomach issues. It's like really good for you. So I um I highly recommend eating clean. Um, and you have to do what like you can eat clean. Listen, for some people think it's very regimented, and that you have to cut things out. You actually don't have to cut anything out as long as you just cook it at home, and it's natural food and it's not processed or junk food, fried foods. And I actually did that for a while. I would not eat fried chicken, but I'm not fat for no reason. I'm fat for a reason, okay? I like to eat fried stuff, junk food. I like to eat bad food, but I also love to eat clean food. It's just that the more clean you eat, and then the more clean you eat too, that's the more your body will start missing it. Yes, your thoughts become even clearer. I agree. Yes, but the pomegranate juice was store bought. It's until the 21st, but I plan on being vegetarian once you finish. I try, but I may want some fish. Yeah, take it slow. Take it slow, but you can do it. Especially if that's something you're determined to do. Just, give yourself grace. And also, you know, make I noticed too that if you plan your food ahead and you have meal and you have food all ready to go, then it's easier to stick to your plan. And I'm always able to do that for like 2 or 3 weeks. The longest I ever stayed on a diet was 2 months and I didn't lose a pound. Candy K all day. What's up, lady? How are you doing today? I thought I caught your live, but I guess it ended. I was like, oh no. I'll go back and watch the replay. But it looked like you guys from the thumbnail and what I caught at the end, it seemed like you guys had a good live going over there. So I definitely want to go check that out and see what gems you and your co-host dropped today. I'm always in the learning business and also in the informing business as well. But what I was going to say earlier, ladies, is that hold on for me 1 second, y'all. One second, ladies. Just 1 second. Go ahead and chat amongst yourself. Okay, ladies, I was starting to get a little hot there. So I had to grab my fan and some water. I'm actually doing better today because my throat was going out from going doing so many lives. But on the 21st, which is Saturday, if you all or any of you are available, I'm gonna have a pajama jammy jam, and you can wear your pajamas or not if you would like. And we're gonna play games. We're gonna have fun. It's gonna be all about the ladies. We're gonna talk mess and chit chat about things that affect ladies, especially if you're a woman of a particular age like me. We're gonna talk about premenopause and menopause and um, things that affect us as women. So it's definitely gonna be a show for the ladies. So I hope you guys can join. And we're gonna play a few games. And it's going to start at 6 p.m. Saturday evening, and it's going to go until. So I'm going to put out a couple of flyers throughout the week to let you know more about it and keep you, keep it on your mind. Because I know we all have lots of things to do throughout the week, right? Something, so much going, keeping us busy. And I know everybody has their own channel as well, so, you know. But, okay. Let me see. All right. You recorded an ASMR video, only 1 minute long. Got to add some more to it. Okay. I'm going to be on the lookout for that. I like your videos, real life. They reminded me of, they remind me of the videos that I usually watch when I'm having trouble sleeping. I'll watch those videos and they help me sleep. Okay, sorry about that, ladies. But like I was saying, I usually watch videos that will put me to sleep, like the rain sounds, and the videos that you do, they kind of put me in the mind of that. And I know a lot of people like to watch those different sounds, like that white noise, to help them quiet down and go to sleep. And I'm one of those people. I don't know if you watched my video where I talk about how I dealt with anxiety real bad. And for years, I couldn't go to sleep. But I thank God for Jesus because I was delivered from that. And now your girl can sleep. But for the longest time, um, because I watched so many of those videos, I was just in that algorithm. So those videos would come on automatically at a certain time if I was on YouTube. So yeah, I'll do it. If I do, it'll be a sleep music stream. That's good. Definitely do that because people like those videos. I know some creators just record rain sounds or water streams. I'll be getting my hair done that day. My cousin takes all day and night, so I'll try to make it. How are you getting your hair done? Are you getting braids or what are you getting done to it? Oh, you're getting braids. You already know it's going to take her 2 days for small braids. Yeah, you know how they do. My daughter usually braids my hair, and we usually go at it because she'll try to rush through me or always have some complaint. I'll get on her nerves, she'll get on my nerves, but it seems like when she does her sister's hair, like she did my younger daughter's hair, she did her hair really good. I'm like, I wanted my hair done like that. And she was like, well, Mama, you complain too much. As soon as I start, you complain. But I surely hope you can stop by for a minute. But if not, get your hair did, girl. Get your hair did. You know, it's important that we ladies keep our hair did. Real life's getting ready for that visual reveal. Real life, is that you? Like eating? Like I know I seen some videos. I think that's your page where I seen you eating like a what is it called? A crustable or something like that. Is that you on your page? You're beach ready. I know that's right. Oh, you're gonna go live from the beach. That's what's up. That's so cool. I said I was gonna stay at the beach and I haven't been yet. But summer hasn't officially started yet, so but and in Cali it could be hot where I live at. It can be very hot. But then you go to the beach and it's like overcast, like it wants to rain, so it's tricky. She said, "Oh, you're not gonna go live." Oh, she's joshing you. Oh, she's just teasing you. But that would be cool to go live from the beach. Yeah. Earlier I was talking about how Wig has got us in trouble with Iran and how he's been going back and forth with them. What do you guys think about that? About the ICE protests and all of that different stuff that's going on? That man in Minnesota attacking those people and unaliving that senator. So much is going on. It's like, you don't want to get caught up in that. You want to kind of just stay in faith and take care of your family and not get all caught up in that. But at the same time, you got to pay attention to what's going on in the world around us, right? Because we just need to stay informed, and I feel like we need to stay in prayer for real. But I seen it today, and I was like, let me talk about that on my life. I was gonna talk about it kind of yesterday, but it was Father's Day, and I said, let me honor the fathers. Usually I dog them out, but this year I said, let me be nice and let me show the father some love. Of course, I had to be petty and get on the deadbeat mamas. I could have left them out of it, but I said, we're going to give the fathers an opportunity to get their little crash out on. I'm having a hard time finding rain sounds under 8 hours that's copyright free. I would record when it rains here without a lot of background noise. Maybe impossible. I don't know how they do it. I don't know how they get the rain sounds. And I'm quite sure it's on the loop too, right? I'm sure it's on a loop because where does it rain for 8 hours straight? So I'm sure they probably let it rain and they put it on the loop, and then they just I don't know if that's feasible for YouTube or how they feel about something like that. But they have hard rain, they have waterfalls. Child, you could probably even turn on your shower and let because people like to just hear that white noise, or they have some video with black noise and brown noise. Guys, let me know if my fan is too loud in the background. But I only had like 2 hours of sleep last night because I wasn't feeling well. And so, but I was like, ugh, I did my garage earlier today, and my handyman, he showed up on time. Sometimes he's late, but today he was on time, and I was still trying to go back to sleep. But I had to get up and I had to get that done. Yeah, definitely do that. Like, see how it sounds. Try out different sounds. Because I know I hear a lot of people saying they have a hard time sleeping. And it may work for some, it may not. But I know for me, And then like you do the story times too. Um, I know I'm saying a whole lot, but that's how my mind works. But you could also do like story times for kids, and with your channel and the animation, do a story time for them. They'll love that. You can also do story times with that music, with your voice, or just a chill with a nice soundtrack and the water running. I'm telling you, for me, I turn that on and I'm sleep like a baby. They have those machines, those sound machines for babies and things like that. But it will put you right to sleep. Sometimes I even listen to the scriptures being read. Those really, let me tell you. And then I love waking up to that rain sound. I love waking up to those scriptures. So what will end up happening with me is I'll go to sleep, and then even if I do wake up in the middle of the night, what will happen is I can easily fall back to sleep with those sounds. So, and I know that it's kind of falling in line with what you're already doing. And it's a little ambitious, but take your time with it. You can do it. I mean, I think I've already seen you doing the Sims throughout the night, so I know that you have the stamina for it. It's not too loud. Okay. But you can hear it. So let me turn it down a little bit more. Yeah. It's kind of late. It's 10 o'clock. You guys are up big chilling with me. I appreciate that. I really do. Um, Another thing that I've been keeping up with is the Diddy trial, and it's not looking good for your boy. They got rid of the one black males that was probably gonna either give him a hung jury or help get him off. And so today Puffy was just beside himself, but just all the stuff he did, and it was like he knew that he shouldn't have been doing it, right? Because he kept saying I can't talk on my phone, so he knew he was under investigation. I just can't, for the life of me, really understand how somebody with that kind of money, and the ladies, liked him, and some was even willing to do it, but he had to take it. I mean, the way he was just doing stuff, it was just out of control. And I also don't understand. People say, well, when you're being abused or when you're being trauma, but with Cassie, she's young and impressionable, and he did a lot to her, so I can understand. But the other lady, she's like 40, and she's been around the block. And it's alleged that she had been a part of a few different um, harems or whatever. Like with Floyd Mayweather, she was real close to him, and Floyd likes to keep him a few girlfriends. And so this one, Jane Doe, I know who she is. I don't know if you guys know who she is, but she's, her child's father actually met her through Floyd Mayweather, I believe. So she's ran the gamut, and so she's kind of seasoned at this. But I think he was still a bit much for her, even though she was down to do some of the stuff he wanted to do, but he just still took advantage of that. It's like the more you gave, if you gave Puff an inch, he took him out, right? But it's just so sad to see, because yes, you do want to see somebody get justice, but at the same time, if you were a fan of his, even if you weren't a fan of his, if you just got inspiration from his life and how he had, elevated and was able to become a billionaire, own his own business, and different things like that, it's just very discouraging to see that that's the route that he chose to take, right? All right, thanks for your patience. Um, the other part for me with the Diddy thing is those women have to live with that um, for the rest of their lives. Even when, no matter what happens with Diddy, these women have to go in public with everybody knowing what happened to them and what they endured and how they were misused. And not only that, Diddy has children and they love their father, as children often do. No matter what their parents do, they're going to love them. You know, even monsters, children love their parents. And I just think it's so unfortunate that these children are having to bear the brunt of their father's decisions. Like, you see a lot of people on social media actually coming down on them, like as if they did something wrong, or like they should abandon their father when they knew nothing about what was going on. So I guess, Diddy's children came on social media and they posted about their father yesterday for Father's Day. And some were understanding, but some was like, oh, forget the children too. And, his daughters are like 18 years old. And I thought that was mean to say that to the girls. That's their father. And who knows how, everything is still new, everything is still fresh. For some of his children, they don't have a father or a mother now. Well, they have their father, he's alive, but, their father is gone to prison and their mother passed away. So I know that's got to be hard for them. And they're probably holding on to the only parent they have, no matter what. So, but I think it's going to be crazy. But today they showed a mock-up of Diddy, one of those trial pictures that they do, one of those renditions, and he just had his lawyers surrounding him, and he just was sitting there with his head in his hands. He was just like, it's like he's already admitting defeat. I think that Nicole Westmoreland, the woman, she's a African American attorney. I think she does really good. But the other ones, they seem like they all almost are trying to get him convicted. I don't know. But yeah, I thought he didn't have a good team when his attorney couldn't get him out on bail. I didn't think he had a good team. Because when it comes to trials, when it comes to hiring an attorney, you have to hire someone who is friends and gets along with other attorneys. Because even though they wanted to get him, I just don't understand why they kept him in there. You know, when they let everybody else stay out. Well, I guess they didn't let. Well, Harvey Weinstein, did he go to jail first or did he bail out? But I know Diddy. I know Bill. He actually got convicted, but he got out though. He did get out. My hair is already growing back, guys. Remember, I got the big trim in April, and since I did that, it looks like my hair is already growing back from that cut. And I got a little shedding going on from taking out the braids. Mm-mm. Not too bad though. Not too bad at all. So I got a bunch of Design Essentials hair care products. So that's what my stylist uses on my hair when I go see her. So I'm going to use that product line when I wash my hair. I probably should do like a wash day. I don't know. I think I might. I might. I don't know. We'll see what kind of time I have because tomorrow is actually my daughter's 16th birthday. So we're having a party for her. So I will be consumed with that for the better part of the day and the evening. But I did want to take my hair down and try to blow dry it and flat iron it. So I don't know if I will be able to um, film that process, but I would like to. I definitely would like to. So we'll see. Because when I drop my daughter off to get her hair done, I actually have to do some running around to pick up her cake, and um, I want to see if I can find a red carpet tomorrow. The ones they have online, they're not really good. So I got one for my daughter's prom, and it wasn't even the red carpet. It was like a red piece of paper. And I thought I had red really good, but I guess they put false um, reviews in there or something because what I got was just like a roll of construction paper. It was so boo boo. So, and it was very windy that day. Ugh, never again. So I was like, you know what? Hopefully, I can go ahead and find like something red tomorrow at Walmart. I know they used to have a red rug because I actually had red rugs before. I don't know what I did with those. Probably threw them away, but I should have held on to them because I knew I had girls getting ready to go to prom. But hopefully, I can find a red rug at Walmart tomorrow. And I already have the what are they called? Stanchions? Is that what they're called? With the velvet ropes and the poles. I already had those from prom. So I just went ahead and paid. I think I paid like maybe I paid like $80 for those. But when I went to rent some, it was like $50. So I was like, I might as well buy these because my daughter's having her sweet 16, then she has prom, so I'll be using them again. And if I have a family member that wants to use those or borrow them after I'm done with them, they can have them. So they'll be put to good use. hmm So yeah, that's my plan is to get up tomorrow. We have to be up early. My daughter has to be at her appointment at 9. So I'll take her there and I'll go try to find a red carpet. I still need some candy, maybe some chips and drinks. Nothing too big. And she wanted pizza and like hot wings, so we're gonna do that. Very simple. I'll order the pizza from Domino's and then I will hope she has a great birthday. Thank you. Tomorrow is actually my daughter's birthday and it's her father's birthday. They were born on the same day, the 17th of June, but my ex-husband passed away. This will be the third year. So, and yesterday was Father's Day, so I saw that my daughter's very quiet. She didn't bring it up. She didn't say anything about it. And I try not to say anything to my kids about it because I don't want to stir up something in them. But if they want to talk about it, they can, right? Because they're still very sad over losing their father. But um, she posted a picture of him and her that I made years ago. I don't know when I made that collage, but it's a picture of her and him holding her through various stages of when she was a baby. And I posted that years ago and told them both happy birthday when he was still alive. So Robin has access to her full Google album. And so she knows how to go. Well, not she knows. She's old enough, but she can download any of the pictures that I took of her from that, or so she has access to all the pictures with her and her father. So um, I may surprise her with a few things tomorrow and go get a few pictures of her and him blown up at like Walgreens or somewhere like that and post them so that she can have a little memoriam, not celebrate him because he's not here. And he used to always say, when I pass away, the day I pass away will be my new birthday. So that's how he was. He was always trying to be different, but um, I believe in letting people rest in peace. So I don't believe in really celebrating their birthdays once they're no longer here. But I don't know. I'll think about if I want to do that or not. And now that I'm thinking about it, probably not. I'll let my daughter just celebrate her birthday. And I have that sad memory hanging over it because I know she'll be thinking about him anyway. He'll always be in her heart. She'll always have memories of him. So that's what I'm on. We're gonna celebrate her. My daughter did really good this year. My daughter is so shy. I mean, even when she was a baby, like if you say hi, Robin, she'd take her hand and she would put it over her face. She was so shy, very shy baby, right? But she's always been sweet, always been the sweetest girl. So this year they placed her in drama, and she just loves drama. She did so well, met friends. They did a like a little Saturday Night Live type of thing where they did put on skits at the end of the year, and she did a great job. I was so proud of her. I didn't post it online. I just kept it, within the family or whatever. But I think she did so great. I was just so proud of her and how she was just so outgoing and all of that. And then, like I said, she was shy, and going from middle school to high school was a bit of a challenge for her in the beginning, but sophomore year, she just took off running. And she got it in her head that she was doing good in school when she first started, and she was getting straight A's. And once she saw that she had straight A's, the first semester, she just was determined that she was going to have straight A's all year. And I was just so proud of her. For one reason, she kept wanting to get the money because me and my mom and her older sister was giving her money every time she got straight A's. And then when she got her honor roll certificate, I got her Beats by Dre. So I was just very proud of her because, I mean, she even inspired me because this year she said, Mom, I'm going to try a little harder and I'm going to be more social this year. I'm going to, talk to people and I'm going to make friends. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. But I didn't want her to feel like she had to be rushed or like she had to push herself more than she was ready for. And I was just, praying for her and praying for her, and she just did it. She did not want to be late. She wanted to go to school every single day. Like my daughters have braces, so sometimes they have to go to the orthodontist, and oh my god! And then when she had to do her last little performance, she was like, "Mom, I cannot miss any days, no matter what. We have to be here to practice every day." So at the end, I think we had to go to 2 different nights of performances. It was a lot, but I was happy to be there to support my child, and I was happy to see that she just stepped out of her shell. You wouldn't even recognize this quiet girl that's very soft spoken and very mild mannered, and she's one of one in my family because we're all loud. The girls over here. I got 5 daughters, and my daughters. She's in between her 18-year-old sister and her 13-year-old sister, and the 18 and 13-year-old are always going at each other's throats, and Robin just sitting there, just quiet, not saying a word. So yeah, she did her thing this year. And so she said she would have a sweet 16. I'm like, oh, okay, we just had everybody over for your sister's prom. But I did tell her that she could have a sweet 16. So I said, okay. And you are sweet 16. You did great in school. You don't give me any problems. So definitely you are going to get one. And I'm going to make sure that it's the one the way you want it. So she wanted her colors to be black, silver, and white. And I was like, Robin, don't you want a little color in there, like a little pink in there? And she said no. I was like, okay. She knew the kind of cake she wanted, so we went and got that. It's not exactly how she wanted it, but um, we got the cake that, similar to what she wanted, so she's pleased with that. She wanted to order her dress and her shoes from Shein, and she wanted a particular dress. And I was like, well, Robin, don't you want this? And you know what? I have to give her things because Robin is at that age now where she knows what she wants, right? And so I was like, all right, that's what you want. But the dress was a little long. I thought she would have wanted like a short dress. It's cute. The dress is cute and the shoes is cute. But I was like, oh, you don't want a shorter dress? Like, something above the knees. She was like, no. And she knows how she wanted her hair done. So I got her bundles and I made her appointment. So she decided how she wanted everything, and I just got whatever she wanted. So yeah. And I was even like, okay, your birthday's on a Tuesday. You don't want to have it like the Saturday before or the Saturday after. She was like, no. Everybody's out of school. What difference does it make? I want to do it on my birthday. I'm like, okay. So everything she said she wanted to do, I just said, okay, we're going to go ahead and do that. And that way, she can be happy and she can be pleased. It's all about making memories and creating memories with your kids. Who's still in with me? Who's in my bushes? I'm going to press through and get these 2 hours in, okay? Your girl is going to press through. I'm almost done with these braids. I got 3 more in the front. So I am keeping myself busy and I am working on these braids one by one. I got to get them out. I put some Aunt Jessie's oil on my scalp. I thought my hair was really dry, but my scalp got really dry. I would never do that again. I put some Aunt Jessie's You're Here Real Life. Thanks for chilling with your girl. I knew it was you, girl. I knew it was you. That's you. That's my girl. But I put some of that Aunt Jessie's. I got it from Burlington's, and I put that on my scalp, and it seemed like it irritated my scalp, and then my scalp felt really dry. But my hair, from what my daughter used Shine Jam to braid my hair is still, my strands are still kind of oily, but my scalp was real dry. So I think because I want to keep up with my trims every 3 months, at least for the year. Maybe I'll do it instead of quarterly. Maybe I'll do it every, 4 months next year. But for now, because I had a lot of damage, so I want to cut that out and then go ahead and get my braids back in. So I think on the 1st of July, I would go ahead and get a trim and another deep condition. And then when my silk press starts to nap up, I'm going to wash my hair and get braids. And I'll keep my braids in from from the middle of July until probably the end of August or the very beginning of September. So I have them in for 8 weeks. So last year I had braids all year long. All year long. And I love my braids. I feel like they make me look younger and a little jazzier. But also, sometimes braids get on my nerves. Like they get to itching or I don't know. Sometimes I feel like braids can break your hair too if you wear them too much. And like I said last year, I had them a lot, and I felt like my hairline was kind of like breaking off a little bit. Even right now, with me wearing them back like that into the ponytail, I feel like it broke it off a little bit. But also, when I went and got my silk press, I could see in the front. I felt like in the front I had a little heat damage, so I don't know. Maybe I should just do some wash and goes. What do you think, real life? Maybe I should do. I was thinking about that, but I don't know if I got wash and go hair. That's gonna take some. That would take some work for me to. I probably have to do like a twist out more than a wash and go. And I have everything for it, but tomorrow and my daughter's birthday, that's not the day I want to do a wash and go. So I don't think I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I think I'm just gonna flat iron it and put some little curls in it and call it a day. Yeah, because I did like it like that too. Just felt so free to feel the air on my skin, or on my scalp rather. Yeah. But I'm not gonna wash it tonight. I'm going to wash my hair in the morning. I have to wake up extra early to wash it and blow dry it, or do it when. That's what I probably will do. Wake up about 6 a.m. and wash and blow dry my hair and all that stuff, and then be ready to take my daughter for her hair appointment, and then do the whole Walmart thing. And I know it's going to take this girl at least 3 hours from 9 to probably about 2 to finish her hair at that. So I'll be able to come home and chill for a little bit before I go back and get my child. So it should take me like an hour or so in Walmart tomorrow. And then I can get back home and chillax. I got my older daughter doing the decorations. My house is clean already. We did that today. We cleaned the carpet a little bit after doing the garage, so everything is clean. So it's just a matter of putting everything in its place. My older daughter already blew up the balloons, and I actually forgot to get the table decorations. I knew I put them in the basket, but when they didn't come yesterday, I'm like, wait a minute, did I order them? And I'm always doing that on Amazon. I don't know how that's always happening. I just have like 1,000 things on my mind. So I'm hoping that the table decorations come, and the plates that I order, I hope it comes before 6 o'clock, because her party is starting at about 6. So I'm feeling like I should be able to decorate the table. That's going to be easy enough. Place the cake there and put uh, the little decorations that come separately. I could put that on the table. And then we're going to order pizza once everybody is here, so it will not be cold. Oh yeah, and I'm going to fry some chicken and make like some garlic honey spicy wings. And then I'll also make like the hot wings. So I think the kids will enjoy that, the teens or whatever. And I'll just stay out of their hair and let them dance or whatever. Hopefully, everything will be over around 10, 6 to 10 or whatever. Something like that. And she can just have a good time. But yeah. So outside of that, my daughter's party, after that, like I said, I want to go to the beach sometime soon. Hopefully, I'm going to do the Pajami Jammy Jam on Saturday, but then probably the next week, which will be the 28th, I'll probably go down to the beach. Or no, I said I was going to go there on the 4th of July. Maybe I'll do the beach on the 4th of July. That's what I think I'll do. I don't know if I want to do Dockwater Beach or if I want to do um, Huntington Beach, somewhere like that. But I think I'll wait till 4th of July. But then I really don't like being too far from home on 4th of July. It's too many crazy people out on the road. You know, so much going on the 4th of July, fireworks, all of that. I don't know. So I may just go to the beach on the 28th. And then me, I'm very simple on the 4th of July. Like I said, 4th of July, New Year's, I like to be at the house with it. So I think me and the girls will go to the beach on the 28th. We'll chill down there. I might even get us a room and we can stay down there for a couple of days and just chill and be beach moms for a while. And I'll start editing my books like I wanted to and all that jazz. And then they'll feel like they had a little mini vacay, which is cool. And then when 4th of July comes, they won't be too disappointed if we're not out on the streets, right? And I like 4th of July. I love getting together with family on the 4th of July. I love barbecuing. I love going out and watching the fireworks. But last year, y'all, let me give you a little story time. So last year we were in Vegas, right? And this was my first 4th of July in Vegas. My whole family went to Vegas. We all trailed each other and carpool down, not carpool, but caravan down to Vegas from where we live in Cali. Cali is California for those of you who may not know. So it was like how many cars deep? At least 5 cars deep that we caravan to Vegas. And oh my gosh, me and my sister, we really enjoyed ourselves last summer. We were all over Vegas. She had me all over Vegas to places I had never been because a few of my sisters actually live, well, a couple, two, not a few. I only have a few sisters, 3. And my other sister lives here, uh, not too far from me in California, as well as my mother. Oh, but even my brother went down there, but he got there ahead of us. So was my mom and all of her kids and all of her grandkids, right? So I was doing pretty good, which was like a miracle for me. When it's hot, with my asthma, y'all, I be in the house. But I was out there in Vegas and it was like, it was super hot, but I was handling it. I was doing really, really good until the 4th. On the 4th of July, it got so hot. Oh my goodness. We needed something from Walmart. I wanted to go get some hot dog buns or something like that. Maybe some juice. I got in my car and I went to Walmart and I couldn't even barely walk through Walmart. I think it was probably 120 degrees, 120 sweltering degrees. At least in Cali, you get a little breeze. Oh no. Oh no. In Vegas, you do not get a breeze at all. So I got whatever I was going to get. I went back to my sister's house. And I think we needed cheese or something like that. I was like, oh no, I cannot go back outside. And my niece, she was doing a barbecue at her house. She had a pool and all that. I was like, oh no, I cannot. I cannot step foot back outside this house. And I think what we ended up doing was Ubering the cheese. I don't know how much I paid for that cheese. Way too much probably, but I couldn't go back outside. So later on that evening, I forgot what happened, but or maybe I went to go gas up for the next day because we were gonna we had stayed in Vegas for about, I think we went like the Sunday or Monday before, and the 4th of July was on a Thursday, but we were gonna head out to come back to Cali early Friday morning because if you know, like I know, if you're leaving Vegas like after a holiday on a weekend, you can get caught up in traffic. So we decided we were going to leave early on Friday morning, which is what we did. So we went to get gas. Tell me why. And like in Cali, they bust them pew pews. You can hear them busting all night. Um, what? Fourth of July is about how many weekends away? About another two, three. They're already they started Labor Day with the fireworks. Okay, so I'm used to people carrying on around the holidays, especially like during the summer months. They'll get started right after Memorial Day, and they'll start popping more fireworks and blasting them more and more and more. Like every other day, you'll hear something go boom, and you think it's a gun, or you think you think it's a bomb going off, and then you'll look outside and you'll just see, psh, and you see all these fireworks in the sky, and they have like New Year's Eve style fireworks, right? So I'm used to being around that kind of thing. But when I tell you North Vegas is on something else, y'all, I'm at the gas station and it's fireworks all around me. I am so afraid that one of those fireworks are going to strike the gas pump and explode. I'm telling you, I was praying the whole time. I filled my tank up. So I had my daughters with me, right? And they were in the car and we got back in and got, on our way back to my sister's house. Tell me why somebody, I mean, it was one of those little fireworks too. It wasn't one of those big ones like that go, and then, almost blow your hand off. It wasn't one of those. I think it was one of those things that jump around on the ground. Well, somebody lit that, it rolled under my car. And I was like, oh, heck no. And then it landed in somebody's yard. And while we're at the intersection, we're literally watching somebody's yard go up in flames. I kid you not. It was crazy. My kids was like, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. The smoke in the Vegas air was so thick. I mean, you could cut it with a knife. All you could see all around you was just so much smoke because just one after the other. Just imagine New Year's Eve. Imagine Disneyland at night when they do the big fireworks extravaganza. This was Vegas. Like every inch of the sky was full of fireworks. And then the fire trucks, all that's all you heard all night. You just heard fire trucks going everywhere because Vegas was on fire. And it's so dry out there. I couldn't imagine that fireworks would be legal, but they are legal, I suppose. Like in Cali, fireworks are illegal in a lot of places because in the summertime, the fires start happening. But um, it was just really crazy. Buildings on fire, people's lawns on fire. They didn't care. Yeah, it was crazy. My daughter was just telling me that I had forgotten all about it. So the other day, my 13-year-old said, Mom, you know what I'll never forget? I was like, what? She was like, that time we were in Vegas and we watched the fireworks ignite that lawn on fire right in front of our eyes. Like, it's crazy. But thank God we made it out alive. Because I was just like, ooh, no. And I said, I'll never do Vegas on 4th of July again. Like, never, ever. I and then guess what? The next day, I got sick and I knew I was going to get sick. I have did well for months without an asthma exacerbation or anything like that. And then, like I said, it was super hot out there. But that last day, it was way too hot. It was 120 degrees. It was literally hot as hell. You know, I don't see how people live in Vegas. I really don't. My sister, my older sister, she loves Vegas. I'm like, how do you do this? She said, well, it's not that bad. And then my younger sister said, you did it wrong. We don't go outside until nightfall. And I'm like, it's still 120 and 5 degrees nightfall, right? There is literally no breeze. Mind you, Las Vegas, or excuse me, Nevada is a landlocked state. So there's no breezes coming off the ocean, you know, like in California. You do not have that. You do not have wind in Vegas. It is a dry heat. If you've never been, please do not go during the summer months. I mean, and it rains, it comes down out there. When it rains, I mean, you cannot see. So, I don't know. Very much a no. 4th of July in Vegas, 0 out of 10. I highly do not recommend that you go when it's hot like that. Because you will regret that decision. But yeah. But we did have fun, and we always have fun in Vegas because Vegas is a city that never sleeps. When we go to Vegas, it's always my goal to, if you're ever going to Vegas, go to the Palace Station, even if you do not stay at the Palace Station, because they have that oyster bar. And if you're a seafoodie like me, oh my gosh, get their barbecued shrimp, get their gumbo. They make it right there in front of you. They make the roux, they add the veggies, all of that right in front of you. It tastes so good. And the line is usually long, so. But the good thing about the Palace Station's oyster bar is they stay open all night. So the chefs, it's probably like 3 chefs, and they come in shifts. And the restaurant is set up to where it's only like maybe 15 seats inside of the restaurant. So only 15 people can eat at one time. And so as people leave, they let other people come in. I had the last time I was there, did I have a shrimp cocktail? I don't know, but I did have the gumbo. I also had the barbecue shrimp and the pan roast. The pan roast kind of just is just like a sauce and everything. You can get rice with everything, but it was really good. Whereas this is at the Palace Station in Las Vegas at the Oyster Bar. It's like really like well known. Y'all, I got the first half of front of my hair taken down. Clap for me. Yay. So let me braid that up. Ooh, it's a lot in the back, y'all. What was I thinking? Oh my gosh. Yeah, but the Palace Station Jazzy, um, like I was saying before, they only serve about 15, if that, people at a time. They have maybe like 2 or 3 of the pub style table seating, and then they have maybe like you can eat like at a bar section, and maybe like 8 to 10 people can sit there and eat. But usually it's like a long line, like around the bar, like people, and people sit there. People sit there. One time I waited 3 hours to eat there. But when I got there, it was so good. Oh my gosh. Like the gumbo, the roux was like a buttery taste. It had a buttery taste to it. And then the barbecue shrimp, I really enjoyed that. I can't remember what all they served, but I know that I liked those 3 things. And it's kind of expensive, but when in Vegas, right? So, like I was saying, when I go to Vegas, it's a couple of things I'm going to absolutely do. Number one is gamble. I'm gonna have like maybe I'm not a high roller. You don't think you ever had oysters? You know what? I love oysters, but I don't get oysters from the oyster bar. They serve pan rolls, they serve gumbo, they serve shrimp cocktail. They have a few different things that they serve there, and I'm sure oysters on a half shell or whatever. But you're flying into Vegas in a couple of weeks, but you're driving to Arizona. I have never been to Arizona yet, When my ex-husband was alive, he wanted me to move to Arizona so bad. I was like, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. You don't even like living out there. So why would you want me to go? He's always complaining about the heat, but he wanted us to move to Vegas, and I mean Arizona. I would always say no, but I still want to visit Arizona. However, that's going to be a good trip to go through Phoenix. I don't know if you've ever been, but when you get to Vegas, since you're driving through, um, I think once you get to the Strip, the Palace Station is like off the Strip a little bit, but it's like maybe like once you get to the Strip, you would see it. The Palace Station, that's where Tupac was unalived at the Palace Station, I believe. Yeah. Let me look it up. I'm always saying something, but let me look it up. I got to tell you guys about a wild night I had at the Palace Station one day, too, waiting in the oyster bar. I actually got 86 behind it. Maybe I'll tell you guys that if you join the pajama jam. I might tell you that story time. That was crazy. I might not. I don't know. I have some crazy stories that I've been through in my life. But yes, let me look it up real quick. Oh, he was in Paradise, Nevada. Uh, Let me see. That's right, because he left the hotel. Which hotel was Tupac at? Okay, let me see. Well, that was the EGM. What happened at the Palace Station? Something happened at the Palace Station. What? Oh, that's what happened. O.J. Simpson was at the Palace Station. Remember when he tried to steal his don't tell her that. Oh, I got a Tupac story too. I'm gonna tell you guys right after this. Remember when O.J. Simpson tried to be gangster and try to go get his memorabilia back? And he ended up getting busted in Vegas and had to do all that time. He was that happened at the Palace Station. I knew it was fresh on my mind for some reason, but I was watching O.J. Simpson's 30 for 30 on Netflix. That's a good one. Watch that if you haven't already. That was a good 30 for 30. I watched all 5 episodes, but that's where that happened at, where he went into that hotel room and tried to pull that pew pew on somebody to get back his memorabilia. That's where that happened at the Palace Station. But I won some good money at Palace Station just sitting there playing blackjack at the I think it was a machine. You'll lose your money fast playing those slot machines. Play low. Play low. I've also walked in the Palace Station, put like $20 in the machine and won 350 instantly. So but if you go Palace Station, Oyster Bar, if you like seafood, right? So it's so funny because I saw a few celebrities right before they passed away. Left Eye is one of them. My sister's always being hecka dramatic. Charity, we gotta go see TLC. I feel like if we don't go see them now, we'll never be able to see them. And she says stuff like that, so I can't say no, or so I won't say no. And so I said, okay, we'll go. She bought the tickets, and she knows me. Even if she buys the tickets, I'm a homebody. But this year she was like, oh, Charity, let's go see a TLC. And it was like their last concert tour. They did really good. Christina Aguilera opened for them. Imagine Christina Aguilera opening for TLC. But that was her first album. And I fell in love with Christina Aguilera. She had a great voice and she did a good show. So we saw her, and then like a couple of years later, she did pass away. And I was just like, you know what? You always speaking bad over somebody's life, girl. So anyway, I'm like probably like a teenager or something like that, maybe like 18 years old. And so we were in LA. We had to, my mom, I was with my mom and I was with her friend. My mom used to always like to pick up one of her friends to go somewhere with her, right? So we were in the city and my mom was like, let's go stop by M&M's because if my mom is in LA at that time, my mom is going to go by her old stomping grounds, right? A barbecue hole in the wall or M&M's restaurant at the time. M&M's used to be bomb, but at this time, M&M was not so bomb. It was just whatever, right? So my mom, since we were in that neighborhood, she was like, let's go and get us some food. So we went and got us some food. It was all right. And then her friend was like, let's go see if we could see my baby daddy. Because you know how we women are, right? We want to pull up on our baby daddy. Mind you, at this time, this woman is probably like 40 something years old pulling up on her baby daddy, but whatever. I'm in the back seat. I'm just riding. So we went to M&M's. We left M&M's. My mom's friend wanted to pull up on her baby daddy, and so we pulled. And guess what? He just so happened to be walking down the street. Ain't that something? Crazy, right? So we pulled up on him, and we called up to him, and he was like, "Yeah." They was just asking. My mom was talking to him. She was asking what they're doing, and he was like, "Yeah, Tupac is down there filming a movie. I think it was Gridlocked or something like that. That's the movie he was filming." And I said, "I'm going down there." My mom was like, "Charity." I was like, "No, I'm going down there. I'm going down there because this is after Tupac gets out of jail. This is after this is after California knows how to party. This is like probably summer of '96, maybe even a few months before this man passes away, right? So Tupac is very big at this time because he's making all this music. He had that double album. California was all about Tupac at that time. So my mom has her Cadillac. What does she have? A DeVille, Coupe DeVille. Did she have, was that what it was? A DeVille, a long Cadillac. That's all my mom and dad used to drive back then was Cadillacs. Like all the time. If they had a car accident, they're getting another Cadillac. And clean Cadillacs too, right? So my mom has her Cadillac. I jump out that baby and I start taking off down the street. Mom was like, Charity, Charity, get back here. I'm like, girl, bye. I ran down there. I remember what I had on too. I had on like this like yellow romper with flowers on it, and I had on like these white sandals. I don't remember how I had my hair. I could have possibly had my hair like flat ironed into like a little wrap style. I'm thinking, but I think it was who was Tupac in a movie with? Let me look that up again. Tupac. Let's do go to his wiki. Tupac Shakur, and let's go to filmography. And that oh, he did it quite a bit. He did quite a bit, but it was gridlocked. And when did Tupac do Baby Boy? What is that? Archive footage. Oh, okay, I was gonna say, oh, this is all archive footage. I'm like, y'all play too much. This gridlock had Tupac Shakur, Tim Roth, Lucy Liu, and Thandie Newton. I thought it was that other guy with the one that was in Training Day, but no, I guess not. So when I get there, Tupac is running down the street. That's the scene they're doing, right? And I'm just standing there watching him. And I kid you not, when they cut, Tupac went back and sat on his scene, and he's on one side of the street, you know, right where they was filming the scene at, and I'm across the street, just staring dead at Tupac. Tupac would not unlock eyes on me. He looked right at my face. Right at my face. I kid you guys not. And I just kind of like sat there and just like, what's up? He didn't say anything and I didn't say anything, but we locked eyes. for a good 2, 3 minutes. And I was just like, okay, like, and then he continued on with his movie. And then here come my mom being a player hater. First of all, stand down, okay? But yes, that was, and then, later on, it seemed like, Tupac, once he got released from prison, I think that was probably like August, September, I want to say. And he was, he had passed maybe a year after he was released from prison. But it felt like he had been out for a long time because he had so many singles out. I mean, and that's all you could do was hear his music everywhere in 96. He was everywhere. He was constantly talking mess. It was that big East Coast, West Coast beef. And it was just a time. It was a time. It was a time. And then he was gone. Like after I saw him that day filming that movie, that was, like I said, that was probably the summer of 96. After that, he was gone by September of 96. And it seemed like so far apart, maybe because I was young. And, when you're young, time, you have no conception of time. But, yeah. But I had that wrong. I wasn't thinking Tupac. I didn't associate Tupac with, or Orenthal. I thought it was Tupac at the Palace Station, so that's why I talked about that. But it was actually OJ big kicking it at the Palace Station. But it's not a 5-star hotel, but it's not a bad hotel. I've stayed there before. The rooms are okay. The food, like I said, is really good for Vegas, because when you go to Vegas, I've never been to the big hotels like the Wynn or the MMG when I've been there. But because I'm always trying to go get some cheap action, or my sister usually is. But my mom, she's a big fan of the Palace Station. She's like, oh, I like it here, so I always go there. But it's not a bad hotel at all, and I like that it's right there by the freeway. So as soon as you get off, you can go right there. You don't have to be on the strip. And when I'm staying there, I like that I can just get right on the freeway, right there by the Palace Station. Yeah. Then I'll also go to the outlets and do a little shopping at the outlets or at the mall while I'm there. But me and the bars, we usually will go to Vegas to visit like at least once a year. Um, but this year I wanted us to, because we'll drive to Vegas, but this year I wanted us to go to either Texas or Hawaii. But that was the other thing. Now that I bring that up, but no, he was not your man, Jazzy J. So yeah, back up, back up, back up. Don't start none, won't be none. But that was another thing, guys. Did you see how that plane fell out of the sky? And this is happening way too much for it to be a co-inky dink. It's happening way too much. And there was a whistleblower from that worked at Boeing, and he said that they didn't make the planes right, like they wasn't fitting correctly, like the parts wasn't like meshing seamlessly, so they would sometimes jump on the plane, like they're jumping on the on the wing of the plane to make it fit. So that's what he said, that it was because of the aerodynamics, or how bootleg they made those planes. Did you guys see that about that guy? It was only one survivor. It was like 200 and something people on the plane, and they didn't think that there were going to be any survivors. But one guy, he came when they went to check on the wreckage or whatever. They saw one guy coming out of the wreckage, and his face was pretty banged up. But other than that, He said as soon as the plane got, lifted up for takeoff, boom, and it just exploded. So you don't want to live in fear, and you want to, you know, but when things like that continue to happen, it's not about living in fear. It's about taking, in my opinion, just being cautious and really taking stock of what's going on. But I thought that was just crazy. Like, I know he probably has crazy survivor's remorse and guilt and just wondering why did he make it, and probably just happy he made it. He's probably has a lot of emotions going on. And guys, um, that's why I was like, so much is going on around the world, all in one week. We had the major ICE protests that was going on in the civil unrest that began in Los Angeles. Then we had that plane. All those are major events. Either if one of those things occurred during a week, it would have been a major news event, right? But it's so much happening that that the news media can't keep up. Yes, the plane crashed from India, Jazzy. Oh, this happened right after the takeoff. Is exactly. You're so nervous to fly now. I mean, I'm not saying it to be scared to scare anybody or to incite fear, but like I said, the whistleblower says that the planes. This was a Boeing plane, so I don't know about the other planes, but for me, it's like it's not even about flying, because if the planes are falling out of the sky, they could literally fly. I mean, fall out of the sky anywhere, right? It doesn't have to be just around the airport. They can actually go be in the sky and then fall down on somebody's house. Anything could happen. So we just have to stay prayed up, right? Because what's the alternative to that? Staying in a house, never going anywhere? That's not really living either. So, yeah. So I don't want to like be like, oh, don't get on the plane, because that is my goal, to get on the plane, and it's still the safest mode of transportation, no matter what. But ladies, right, facts, real life. Did you hear that a plane survivor years ago sat in that seat? I did see that. That's real eerie. Life is funny, for real. Sometimes real life, no pun intended, real life. Sometimes real life is stranger than fiction, they say. Right? But could you imagine that movie that's going to come out? Because a movie's going to come out about it. I will watch it too. One of the families that was on the plane, their story was so sad. I don't know if you guys heard about this, but it was a man. He was like into computer software engineer or something like that, and he was from India, but he had moved to London for work, and his wife was a doctor, and she remained in India. And it, for like 7 years, maybe they commuted back and forth, but now they were all going to join together in London. So the mother and the children, they had like three children, or maybe it was two children. I'm not certain. They packed up everything. The mother quit her job as a doctor in India, and I guess the husband went home to get them so that they could all fly back to London together. So the whole family was on that plane, and they had you know, all the optimism about finally being united as a family in London. So I thought that was really sad. Very shocking to hear. Oh, and you guys know how Peach took her kids to Destin? Oh my gosh, I couldn't believe the way she had those babies screaming and hollering on that boat like that. They were so scared. And she looked at Nami. She said, Nami, you're so brave. Nami was scared out of his mind. Nami likes to get down when he's eating. He was just sitting on that boat, just shell shocked. He couldn't move. He didn't. He had the little icing cup in his hand. He wasn't trying to eat that like he could take down some food, and he can run amok, but he wasn't. Yes, it's very sad. That was so sad, and they took that last pic before the plane took off. Right, right. That was just. Oh my gosh. It just makes you realize that your plans are futile. God bless them, all of them, and their families. Um, but yeah, I didn't want to rush through that story, but that was just very sad. And it also was just a reminder to me. Thank you, Jesus. It was a reminder to me that was for somebody else is not for you, because one person survived. And that just shows, how people say, oh, well, you won't be successful at this because this person and that person and that person tried and they failed. Or, somebody could be sick with something and the doctor will tell you you only have a 1% chance of survival. And that 1% chance was all you needed. So I just saw that was reminiscent of that to me. Some people might say, well, why did God let all those other people pass away? Well, that was the end of their journey. But for one person, he said, not so, not yet, not yet. So I looked at it that way too. But my heart did grieve for that family because just to be optimistic about reuniting as a family and having plans to start your life over in a new state, and then you never arrive there. So I know for their families that must be very shocking. But yeah, like I was saying about Peach McIntyre and her kids on that boat. I was just when I seen that I was just like, this is crazy. Those are 9 kids, and not just 9 kids, 9 little kids. She has like 5 children under 5. And with life vests or not, that's a big task to undertake, right? Then she's so immature that she actually filmed her kids screaming and hollering, scared. Like her daughter was like, "Mommy, I want to get off this boat." And I don't know if you guys have ever heard of the call of the void. That's when you get so scared, you jump, right? Like her kids could have got so scared. Her daughter's like, "I don't want to be on this boat. I don't want to be on this boat," right? And her daughter could have jumped off that uh, boat. It was a girl recently who did that. She was on like one of those, I forget what you call it, but it's like parasailing type things when it's attached to like water. I didn't see it, but they were talking about it. The call of the void and how the girl got so scared. That's like when you have intrusive thoughts and they win and you listen to them, because when your body gets anxious, and that's what I saw in Phenomenal, and that's what I saw in her son Amazing. They were so afraid. She said, well, they don't trust their dad. Well, they had never been in a boat with their dad driving. They probably had never been in a boat. And they know their father had never driven a boat. So everything about it told their little minds and body that they should panic. And that's why they were screaming and hollering like that poor choice. I'm scary, mommy. I'm scary, mommy, right? And so the little, she had both baby twins in her arms, and I'm just thinking, if that boat tips over a little bit, it's over for that family. And Wood seemed to be going pretty fast, and then they were out there playing. After a while, they stopped and they were out there playing. And she said, "Well, somebody told us that the tide was coming in, so we might want to go back." And I'm like, God was with them, because that same weekend, a little girl drowned out there in Destin. Did you guys hear about that? And her family was on the same type of boat. It was her mom, I think her stepfather, and maybe 3 kids. but they were on the same, a very similar boat to what Peach rented. And the mom was driving a little bit, and the stepfather was driving a little bit, and the kids were all happy. And I guess they parked their boat, and then I guess they got off, but I guess they were out there pretty late because they said that the you heard about it, Jazzy? Has Wood ever even drove a boat before? No. Peach said he watched the video, took a tutorial or whatever, but they said the little girl didn't have on a life vest. But from what I have been reading, people said that the ocean, and I always tell my kids this because I'm a helicopter mom. I'm not even gonna lie. I always tell my kids, stay near the shore, like let the water hit your feet, but don't go way out there into that ocean because I'm like the ocean is vast, and you have those boats. Ain't no way. Honestly, I never heard of Destination. Now, me either, real life. Not until I saw Peach mentioning it and talking about Crab Island. So it was just so ironic that somebody actually passed away. But they say that Destin is actually pretty notorious for drownings and it's pretty dangerous, right? So believe it to her to go do what she shouldn't do. And it's like she put her kids in those type of situations just to get reactions out of the internet, number one. And number two, because she has this strange, twisted, I don't know, it's just a look in her eyes. She's just like really, you know, to me, she feels like an evil person because there's no way I could have listened to my kids scream like that. And I know that you want to give your kids different opportunities and different experiences, but you want to do that when it's safe. And having 9 children on a boat with somebody that has never driven a boat before in waters that can be very unforgiving, I think was just irresponsible, in my opinion. So, but ain't no way I would go on these without a licensed professional driver. Absolutely not. Those boats tip over easily. Yes, sick and twisted, real life. I know somebody who they got on a boat with the professionals and they took off on them and cut their legs all up. Mm-hmm. You know, if you cannot swim, you should not be in the ocean. Even if you can swim, you need to have on a lifeboat, and I think you need to be in a boat that's gonna be enough boat for the ocean. Because that boat wasn't enough boat for the ocean. Like with 9 people on it, it just didn't feel. At one point, I think I saw Wonderful like leaning over, like the edge of the little boat. It was a real small boat, and I was like, "What is going on?" And McIntyre, all you heard was, "Troy, sit down! Troy, sit down! Sit down!" I mean, he was just screaming at him like, "Sit down!" He was so scared for his brother, and in that moment, I knew that McIntyre often takes on the role of parent. Because if you think about it, one time when Trace ran off, when they were at the zoo or somewhere like that, Aquatica, they were somewhere, and Trace took off, immediately McIntyre and Gorgeous ran after him. They are used to doing that. They are used to stepping up to the plate to care for their siblings. So, and the whole time she was just laughing. She was like, "Wood, don't scare the kids." And he looked at her so irritated. He was so happy to be driving that boat. He like he couldn't hear those kids screaming like that. She was like, "Could you slow down or something like that?" He looked at her like, "What? Like, please." He wasn't studying them children. And he's a big kid himself. He got right out there and was in the water. He had the twins. He's standing at the edge of the boat. And I'm like, what if you fall back or something or lose your balance? Like, you guys have no ideal what you are doing. So They made it back safely, and I did breathe a sigh of relief. And I actually prayed over them, I believe. I'm not sure. I don't remember, but I think I did. Or I thought to. Because my first thought was something's going to happen to them kids. And I said, don't think like that. Don't think like that at all, right? So then, what was it today, earlier today, or late last night? I heard about the little girl. And they have yet to find her. Her mother said they got caught up in the tide, and she said she couldn't keep her breath. She was swallowing a lot of water. And she said she thought she passed her off to somebody, and somebody had her. And then when she finally got to shore, she realized she didn't have her daughter. And she said she wanted to run back into the ocean. She said, but she couldn't. She was too exhausted. She couldn't even make it back to the ocean. And somebody else had helped her, and I guess another person that was on the boat. Because the people that who have been out there, they said you have to just be very skilled and you got to kind of ride that current. They said, but it could easily overcome you, and it's a drop out there, so you have to be very careful when out there. But yeah, I wonder if Peach saw that story and if she thought about that. She didn't mention it like she likes to mention everything else. She did not mention it. But all right, ladies, I got my hair taken down most of the way. I'm gonna go ahead and get off this thing so I can go say happy birthday to my child. I'm up. And when it's my kid's birthday at 12 o'clock, if they are up, I will say happy birthday to them. So you ladies have a good night. I thank you for staying up with me while I took out most of my braids. And I will see, or I will talk to you guys tomorrow. Real life, if I see you on live, because I know you like to go live late, I'll turn you on and let you play. But I'm going to take these braids out and I'm going to take my tail to bed. Hopefully, I get me some really good sleep. You guys have a blessed one. Good night.